at this point, it is almost impossible to predict any games anymore because it feels like every single game in this World Cup has been just so unpredictable, and that even if you have a mismatch like Belgium versus Japan or Brazil versus Mexico, you don't know if both the favorite Belgium and Brazil would actually beat their match. Well, I don't think this is probably a mismatch. I think, Brazil versus Mexico, these two are very good teams. And they actually have met each other 40 times before. So this is kind of like, in some way, a rivalry between both of these teams. They also met each other back in 2014 when they drew 0-0 in I think it was the second game of the group stage. And this is also the fifth encounter between both of these teams. And Mexico have not won the last four matchup against Brazil. In fact, they haven't actually scored once in the last four matchup against Brazil. And Brazil have not failed to move on to the quarterfinals since 1990. But we all know that that fact doesn't really mean anything, because you can throw a bunch of facts about other teams that are already been eliminated in this tournament about how they haven't make it get out of the quarterfinals since like in the 1900 or something like that. But guess what happened? They got eliminated in the round of 16. But in terms of this matchup, certainly Brazil coming into this matchup a little bit of the favorite in this game, but there is a bit of injury concern for Brazil, and it's mostly in that fullback position with the fact that they potentially will not have Marcelo in this game. They said that he could be on the bench, but they don't know if he's going to be fit enough to come off the bench as a sub and potentially make an impact for this Mexican team. And the other injuries that Brazil has in that fullback include Carvajal and also Danilo, and I think both of them are out for this game. So yeah, they are going to be potentially playing some makeshift fullbacks in that position in this game against Mexico. And this game, certainly there's a lot at stake at this game, but it's also a chance for Mexico to finally break that curse. This team, it's always been said that whenever they get into the round of 16, which is where they are right now, they always tends to lose this one. And as a US fan, I'm always laughing at Mexico every time they get eliminated in the round of 16, because that is just their ultimate curse. Like, this team just cannot make it into the quarterfinal. The only time that they have made it to the quarterfinal, which it only happened twice, both time was the time when they were hosting the World Cup, which I think was back in 1970, and I forgot what was the other year that they hosted the World Cup. I think it was 1986 that they hosted the World Cup. So yeah, it's that fifth game is always something that Mexican fans have always been dreaming, and this fourth game has always been just the absolute pain and absolute heartbreak that Mexican fans have been suffering. But knowing how this tournament has gone and knowing so many kind of history and so many records has been falling down, and in a tournament as unpredictable as it is, maybe this is finally the time for Mexico to finally break that curse. Or I'm just hoping that Brazil actually beat Mexico, because I'm a US fan and it would be really fun to laugh at Mexico once again as they get their exit in the round of 16. I don't know. I'll definitely be up for this game. I mean, even if I'm not up for this game, I probably will be awakened by my neighbor, who definitely will be watching this game, and they will definitely celebrate in this game, and they'll basically woke me up early in the morning, like what happened last time when the Brazil versus Germany match happened. Or not the Brazil versus Germany match, the Mexico versus the Germany match. I'm pretty sure a lot of Brazilian fan does not really want me to remind me what happened in the Brazil versus Germany match. But yeah, this is a very tough one to call. Certainly, I'm not going to root for anybody, but in some way I kind of want to root for Brazil, because that was the team that I picked to win the World Cup before I changed my mind just a couple of days ago. But yeah, hopefully they can once again knock Mexico out, and that curse will continue. But the next game, Belgium versus Japan, and you know, like what I said about how I am not taking any of these games by any means necessary. And really, if you are betting in this World Cup, which I know there are a couple people are betting in this World Cup, don't do it, okay? I mean, it's not because I don't want you to suffer a gambling kind of addiction, but it's because of how unpredictable this World Cup is that you would think that it's just the safe bet to pick Belgium to easily cruise against Japan. But, you know, we have seen so far in this tournament, there's been big upset, and you never know. You never know that Belgium would just completely flop coming into this game against Japan. And keep in mind, Belgium have only beaten Japan 1 out of their last 4 matches. And the only time that both of these teams have met each other was back in 2002, which that one was a draw. So certainly history is definitely against Belgium here. And despite the fact that some people will say that Belgium has the most complete squad and that they potentially can go through the final and win the whole competition, like what I predicted, this could be another situation where we're going to have that same thing happen today with Russia versus Spain, and how nobody thought Russia was going to win, and that now nobody think Japan was going to win. Everybody write them off, and guess what happened? Japan won, and they probably win it in penalties. And that will, I mean, in some way, that will be very interesting if that will happen. And in some way that if I really want to say that I'm calling that Japan will win in penalty against Belgium, and tomorrow I'm just going to say I called it when Japan actually beat Belgium in penalties, in some way it will also make me kind of sad because I picked Belgium to win the whole tournament a couple of days ago. But we're going to see how this game is going to go, and if Belgium could be, you know, be a little bit professional and do what they just have been doing throughout this group stage, this should be pretty easy for them. I mean, you know, Japan is not a very good team. They don't really have a lot of talented player on their team, but you know, you never know. I go back to what I said about how this tournament is so unpredictable. You never know if Japan can pull off a big upset. But either way, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of these two games? And make sure you guys leave a prediction below in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys next time. And I hope to see you guys in the review tomorrow.